Well, you could say that I did so poorly in school that I realized that any kind of conventional approach to doing anything wasn't going to work for me. And so I got very comfortable knowing that I wasn't one of the good ones and that I wasn't one of the people who would follow directions well, and that I would struggle and probably fail in any kind of conventional system. And actually, when you spend so many years getting used to the idea of not being good and of failing and of not meeting the expectations of parents and teachers and other adults in your life, then you get to a place where you're just like, well, I got nothing to lose now. Let's just go for it.
What would your teacher say if they met you now?
No way. That's what they would say. They'd say, no way. I mean, I spoke to one of my English teachers a couple years ago. Her name was Miss Cohen. She was a great teacher. I really liked her. And I still didn't read the books in her class. I read one, Sula by Toni Morrison. That's the only one. And she was just shocked. She was like, you had no interest in books, had no interest in writing. The most surprised is my aunt. And she says this in the most loving way. But I remember her teaching me to write a 5-paragraph essay in her old home. And we sat down on one afternoon and I just couldn't do it. Like, I had no ability to describe an idea with depth, to go through an idea and describe it linearly. And she just said, it is absolutely shocking and mind-blowing and makes no sense that you teach people to write now. But the thing is, it also kind of makes perfect sense because I have no natural talents in this. And the problem is when you have natural talents in teaching people to write or teaching people anything, like if you are exceptionally gifted, it all just comes naturally to you. And so it's hard to get into the mind state of somebody who didn't used to have that. What's great about writing is I had writer's block as bad as anybody. I had a struggle with perfectionism as bad as anybody. I wasn't able to put words on paper and remember ideas and then get them into a good narrative. I had that as bad as anybody. So the very fact that I figured that out, being able to walk back how I did that, deconstruct it, allows me to empathize with my students, for them to say, wow, this guy is on my team. And for me, the fact that I dealt with these things allows me to speak to them and get at their level, which is very important when you teach.